Bring in cybersecurity expert right now with Hotspot Shield, Robert Siciliano. Robert, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. What about that? How can victims of Equifax, this breach, protect themselves? And what about this angle that many of these people didn't even want to be part of Equifax's portfolio, and they were given free accounts?
Yeah, this is just messy all around. The fact that their domain is, EquifaxSecurity2017.com. It should be Equifax fail. They messed up big time here. Consumers are at a loss. They cannot rely on the government agencies or corporations to protect them from identity theft. Ultimately, the responsibility lies on you and I. I actually am a victim of this particular crime. I did a search on the website this morning, and yes, in fact, my social and my name showed up, and they're requesting that I sign up for their free credit monitoring. That being said, one of the main things or most important things that consumers should do is get what's called a credit freeze. So a credit freeze, which you get through the credit bureaus, is another layer of protection that locks down your social on your credit report, essentially preventing a lender from getting your credit scores. If they can't get your scores, they're not going to extend any credit. If they're not going to extend any credit, to a certain degree, your identity is protected from new account fraud with a credit freeze.
Yeah, I mean, this is half of the country, Kevin Kelly. I mean, and I know you have other news that we want to also bring out here, but go ahead.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I mean, one of the things on Labor Day, I saw an ad from Experian saying, hey, is your information on the dark web? Sign up for a free trial. So they ran an ad for it, but they already knew they had been breached on the 29th. And what's fascinating is they knew on the 29th, and 3 days later, in a regulatory filing, their CFO sold just under $1 million worth of shares. The CFO. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
On which day did he do that?
3 days after they discovered it.
This is incredible.
That's
so
incredible.
The CFO sold stock 3 days after they discovered it, and yesterday the stock was down 13%.
Yes.
Now, the company is saying he didn't know anything about it when he sold the stock.
Yeah,
pointing that out, what the company is saying.
The issue, though, is he's an executive, he's a CFO. He would have to know. Executive management knows when something this big happens.
But because the information is shared that we don't know about, I mean, this requires so much of the consumer to do their own due diligence on themselves, right? Yeah. I mean, his experience of going on and finding out whether you were affected by this, how does a company deal with that?
Yeah, Robert Siciliano, final word from you. How worried should people be this morning?
Well, this is the most sensitive of personal identifying information: names, birth dates, driver's license numbers, and, of course, your social security number. The most important thing, again, here is get a credit freeze, of course. Always pay attention to your credit card statements of a couple of 100,000 credit cards being compromised. Download your credit card company or bank's mobile app and get alerts and notifications for every single charge.
All right, we will leave it there. Robert, thanks very much for your insights this morning. We appreciate it. Robert Siciliano.